Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Demon Exchange. I'm Dave Bernhard. I'm told I'm the voice by our guest here today, the voice of DePaul Blue Demons women's basketball. You'll see all their games on TV in Chicago and across the nation, along with Blue Demons All Access. And of course, joining us is the guy that I consider the voice, and that is Doug Bruno. Coach, welcome to Blue Demon Exchange once again.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Well, last time you and I got together, we kind of were looking at the Big East season with the addition of UConn and, of course, all the other teams that we've become accustomed to. And that's great. That's several months ahead. But now as we start thinking about this year's team, we've talked about Kelly Campbell, Shante Stonewall. We're not going to be able to say those names anymore, but there's a lot of folks coming back. Can you kind of break down some of the returners that we're going to be seeing and what they're going to be able to contribute this year?
Well, three returning starters, senior Deja Church and juniors Sonya and Lexi Held, all have a chance to be all Big East first-team players. And so we do return a good nucleus there of veteran backcourt play. And so that's where it all starts. You know, Kiara Dahlman was a junior college transfer last year that showed some signs of really being able to have some impact on the interior. Nadia Jean is a young player that really has the talent to play in interior basketball. And we do have a graduate transfer in Courtney Fredrickson, who brings some great size and versatility to us as a transfer from Wisconsin.
I said I wasn't going to mention Kelly Campbell and Shante Stonewall again, but okay, so I lied. Such great leadership from those two last year. Do you see that sort of leadership emerging with this year's group, knowing their personalities?
I think that's the challenge of every new year. And, you know, we can't thank Kelly and Shante enough for what they brought to the program as seniors. And now it's the responsibility of our seniors to step up and lead. And you're starting to see some of that. You know, I didn't mention Deja Church here. You know, Dee is a really, really talented player that gave us, we wouldn't have won last year without Deja Church. Here's another senior that's showing some leadership. Jolene Daniger had some great moments early in the season. And then, you know, weren't able to get her on the floor later on in the season. But at the same time, Jolene is showing some great leadership here as well. And I think that's where the actual leadership starts with. They've been here the longest, along with Deja Church. And now it's time for Sonya Morris and Lexi Held to show that they're upperclass women now.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned Deja Church because she is the epitome last year of a role player. Now, next segment on Blue Demon Exchange, we're going to talk about the newcomers that are coming in. So we'll leave them out of the equation here. But do you have in your mind kind of formulated the role players for this season, or when does that take place? How does that development take place?
Every season has a life of its own. Every game has a life of its own. And the emergence of a team, it's what's the beauty of intercollegiate coaching. Every team dynamic is unique in and of itself. And so it's hard to articulate roles at this moment since we're really not even able to be on the floor with the team right now. But Dee is an instinctive scorer. And, you know, Kelly Campbell's going to have to be replaced, and that's not easy to do. You know, Amaya Stovall started games as a freshman. She was in the mix as a point guard last year. Back to Jolene Daniger. These are players that are talented backcourt players that I think are all going to contribute this year and play important positive roles. Dee more as a scorer, and Jolene and Amaya as distributors, facilitators, though they both can score also. Jolene's an excellent outside shooter.
Last year, the summer was so valuable for a couple of players, and Sonya Morris jumps out to me in terms of how her game just exploded, and I'm sure that was through the summer development. Do you have, and you don't have to mention my name, do you have some folks in mind that we could see that same sort of explosion coming up to this year?
We're going to have to see it, Dave, for us to be good again. But at DePaul, because we are a quarter school, April and May is our foundation of the next season. We actually have 7 or 8 weeks on the floor in April and May, which we've lost. And so, you know, when the day comes that, God willing, we're able to return to the hardwood, the players are going to have to come back in fully fit, ready to play, and they're going to have to show what they've been able to do in their limited space, limited moments off the court. So it's hard to answer the question about roles emerging until we get everybody together on that court.
Okay, so I don't know whether that makes my next question pointless or maybe quite on point. What do you see exciting you the most about this year's upcoming team?
Well, again, the versatility factor, Kiara Dahlman, Courtney Fredrickson, Nadej Jan, are they going to be able to give us a true inside force and presence, which is consistent game to game? And we're going to play the best players, and it's not like we're just trying to play diminutive sized people all the time. We value size, and we've had some great post players and post play through the years. So we're going to have to wait and see. But if Kiara, Courtney, and Nadej can put themselves in position to really play inside, then the team could have a different look. I mean, we're always going to play positionless basketball. We're always going to run and shoot and let the ball fly from three for the purpose of spacing the floor and getting to the rim via post feeds and off the ball cuts and dribble penetration. But at the same time, these are some of the factors that are going to determine just exactly how we incorporate next year's edition of DePaulBall.
You got me all fired up here. My heart's been a thumping here. You mentioned some of these names, and I'm envisioning McGrath Phillips Arena. So, Doug, I appreciate you taking the time for us. We're going to have one more segment coming up that folks will be able to watch here on Blue Demon Exchange. We're going to talk about the newcomers, but thanks for filling us in on these so many familiar names that sometimes I think somehow get lost once March and April go away. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Dave.
All right, very good. So next time, as promised on Blue Demon Exchange, we're going to talk about the newcomers. And I can tell you, having witnessed several of these people in person, you're going to be in for a treat. But until our next Blue Demon Exchange, remind you to stay safe, be well, and take care, DePaul.